welcome to Speakeasy. I'm Hayley.
And I'm Jenny.
And we are going to talk about, I think, a very, not controversial, but it was a worry in the beginning.
Hot topic, I guess.
And that is AI and conference production. And I mean, it all stems from the first question that kind of ever came out when ChatGPT came out, which was, is this going to take over my job? Mm-hmm. And I mean, what do you think?
I mean, I was quite hesitant to use ChatGPT when I first started. I guess one, I wasn't fully understanding what ChatGPT was.
Yeah.
And then secondly, I was like, well, how can I use this with my job if I can do my job without it?
Yeah.
And then slowly I started using it and I realized, okay, this is actually making me more efficient.
Yeah.
And saving me time. When a lot of times as producers, there's moments where a lack of time is basically my motto.
Yeah.
And so all of a sudden having a tool that's helping you being able to do your work and not having to stay extra hours in the office was a blessing.
And we're not just talking about ChatGPT. We're talking about a lot of AI tools that are out there. And I think we've both had experiences with various systems, whether it's browser, whether it's something that's maybe tagged onto even like our email accounts. Mm-hmm. And now there's AI assistants on Google and Outlook and or even plans that we've purchased that just make our lives easier. So, I mean, we could look at it through the entire process, actually. So we'll start with kind of research and agenda writing. And I think the one that people typically go to is ChatGPT.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to say it off the bat, do not use ChatGPT to write your programs. It doesn't work. It doesn't sound good.
No.
It doesn't read well. There's some really obvious tells when a session uses ChatGPT. And I think especially if you're a producer that's produced an entire program, you're not just looking at a call for speakers. I think it's using that, it's no good to your skill set. A lot of our skill set is the ability to reflect a brand voice on a program, and ChatGPT can't do that job.
No. I think also like I've sometimes done my research and I've started drafting my agenda of like, these are the topics I think should be important. And then I've been like, do you know what? I'm curious to see what ChatGPT thinks are the interesting topics. If I'm like, okay, I've got 10 sessions on this. And so many times I'm like, that's a bit old fashioned or outdated. Yeah. And I end up being like, okay, well, some things you're right. And then others I'm like, is that really? Yeah. We could do better than that. Which I think that's where you come to see like, okay, if I literally, I mean, I've seen people go like, okay, we're going to launch an event on this. And I've asked ChatGPT to write an agenda. And then me reading it and being like, as a subject, someone who knows this subject, no.
It's often just generic. It
Very
doesn't
generic.
Delve into anything. And actually, you've just reminded me. And I did, when I was putting together this kind of episode brief, I thought, should we ask ChatGPT for some session ideas and see what it comes up with? I've literally just remembered 2 seconds. And then what we could do is just read them. And I want to get your thoughts because I read them and I think it does prove my point. And here's some session titles and blurbs that it gave me. So, and there was no specific industry. It was, I actually explained what this episode is. And the thing is as well with ChatGPT, if you explain something, it often is going to side with you as well. Yeah. So I explained the purpose of this episode was to talk about how we can effectively use AI in our work, but we also want to highlight where it doesn't work. And I said I would like some ideas on some conference sessions that, you would recommend for an event. I will say that then ChatGPT knows like, are you going to roast me? So it has given me a few things. But so the first one is innovating the future together. It's the M dash.
I mean, yeah, that is the number one. I mean, we all know it. This is a meme online.
I know, but so I love the M dash. I miss the M dash because I can't use it anymore.
No.
Because people assume I've written it with AI, even using a hyphen. And there is a difference between a hyphen and an M dash. And the purpose of a hyphen and an M dash is different as well. And I really wish right now in this moment I did actually remember what it was.
I was about to be like,
because maybe I'll ask ChatGPT in just a second. But so that was the title, Innovating the Future, M dash together. So no spaces between that dash as well.
Yeah.
Join, and this is the description, the blurb. Join thought leaders as they unpack the evolving landscape of innovation and explore transformative solutions to drive meaningful impact across sectors.
Yeah, I mean, what?
Could
What
be
about what?
Anything.
Yeah.
There's no specifics. It's full of buzzwords. That's the first one.
I think also, while we're at it, my little pet peeve is the join us.
Yeah, I
sometimes end up. I do
to
fall victim to it, but
join us for this exciting panel. Not exactly like that, but I do sometimes use a join us, and so shoot myself there, brace myself there. But here's another one. So reimagining possibility, M dash, one disruption at a time. In this engaging session, our panel explores disruptive technologies, scalable strategies, and future-forward mindsets. So actually, there's one thing that I really like in there, which is a little bit of the, what's the word that I'm looking for? Kind of the flow that it has there. I actually really like that, the way that it ended that blurb. But it's not saying anything.
I would be like, if I was a delegate reading that, I'd be like, what am I about to learn though?
Yeah.
About what? And
it's then used some of those kind of buzzwords that we know in corporate language, disruption, future forward, things like that. And let's do one more. Thriving through transformation, and then colons, leadership in the new normal. So this session equips you with actionable insights on navigating uncertainty and empowering teams through change. Again, it's generic. Yeah. Granted, I didn't give ChatGPT any specific industries, and maybe that's actually something I should do right now, is say, write me a session on this for this industry. But again, what's the new normal? Mm-hmm. Is there a new normal? We've all fallen victim to that phrase. And actionable insights just in that. But if I'm going to use the phrase actionable insights in a description, I'm going to put in there in bullet points of what people are actually going to learn. That's something that's really key. If you're going to say there's going to be insights, tell me what the insights are going to be. I mean, not the full thing, because then they don't have to come to the session, but a hint.
Yeah, well, I think also, I'm just thinking, a lot of times marketing will use our sessions, right, to create an email out of that. If I gave that to my marketing team, they would come back to me and say, how do I market this? How do I write an email that's going to engage people to join us because of that session? Yeah. So that's where I'm a bit like,
Should we ask it to write something specific?
Sure.
So, okay, can you write me what shall I do? Like a panel discussion? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Can you write me a panel session title and short blurb? Because I've only got so much time and I can't read the whole thing. For a 30-minute panel. So I'm going to go specific. I'm going to go really specific. What industry should we do?
I mean, I'm a sucker. I always go sustainability.
You do.
But let's
and
not
actually,
do
do you know what? Actually, let's do sustainability, because also your bread and butter is sustainability. Okay. So I want you to tell me what you think of this.
Okay, cool. No pressure.
The industry is sustainability and net zero.
Yeah.
Yeah. And net zero. What topics should we do? Is there anything interesting at the moment? No.
Okay, well, I guess we're talking about AI. So how about sustainability and AI, which is quite controversial, actually.
Oh, because of the amount of water that's needed to actually power all the stations to keep AI going. I mean, there was that funny thing I saw about how we need to stop saying please and thank you to ChatGPT.
I know, but I'm so guilty about doing that, because I'm like, if you take over the world, I want you to think I've been polite to you.
And also, it's just they're helping me out. And I'll probably finish this with thanks. Okay, so make the panel about the use of AI in sustainability. Do we want to give it anything else, or just leave it generic at that?
yeah, let's leave it generic, because sometimes you can make it a bit controversial and stuff like that. But don't know if we want to go that in depth. Or maybe we are.
Okay, so I've written, can you write me a panel session title and short blurb for a 30-minute panel discussion? The industry of sustainability and net zero. Make the panel about the use of AI in sustainability. Oh, should we actually add in an audience as well? Do we want to do like...
The audience are mainly sustainability directors.
Okay.
So we can be very specific.
And sometimes it is good to add in that specific, and I'm going to give it a chance.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay, that's it. Okay.
And drum roll.
So I'll go with, I actually put on the end, give me 3 options.
Oh, okay.
But I'll read the full first one and then I'll read the titles of the other 2. So, first one, Smarter Sustainability, How AI is Accelerating the Net Zero Transition.
Okay, interesting.
Generic.
Yeah.
And not really, and I think it's like we've said before, you need a bit of bite.
Yeah.
You need a bit of bite. I've asked for a short blurb and it's actually like a paragraph. So first of all, it's not given me what I've asked. So I'll try and bridge this as quickly as possible. Artificial intelligence is rapidly emerging as a game changer in the race to net zero. From predictive analytics for energy efficiency to supply chain optimization and emissions tracking. This panel brings together experts using AI to solve real-world sustainability challenges. Hear how organisations are integrating AI into their strategies and where the biggest opportunities, and risks, lie.
Mm-hmm.
I think if I put that on a programme, the audience would be asleep.
Yeah, I mean, I actually think, for example, it's biased.
Yeah.
Right? So the current conversation is a mixture of everyone is saying AI does help. There's a lot of things that it's being, improving efficiency, and it can be a really important tool. But at the same time, everyone's sort of saying what you were saying earlier about the water usage and how that is. So if I'm trying to create a session right now, I would try and find it where it's either we are going to discuss that in between of like the positives and the negatives of AI, and have a panel that's a little bit bitey, because maybe some of my audience will already assume that our brand who's putting that is being biased during this discussion.
I mean, it's funny as well where you mention the bias, and obviously it's come off very positive.
Yeah.
And the title of this one, actually, I think, and before I read the blurb, I would think that could this have that opportunity to bring in that? So the next one was Green Algorithms, where AI meets environmental impact. And it's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay. And then the opening line is, can artificial intelligence help, or hinder, our sustainability goals?
Okay, so there we go. And that one's a bit...
But then a quick skim looking over it, it doesn't give any opportunity to say where AI is maybe hindering those goals. And it just says that this session explores how AI is being used to drive environmental performance, improve reporting accuracy, and model climate risk. Our panelists will share practical insights into implementation, governance, and the balance between innovation and accountability. It's not addressing.
Yeah, I think at the end of the day, what's can be interesting about our when we're writing our session descriptions, it's almost like writing what our conversations have been during the research, right? So discussions at the moment suggest X, Y, and Z, and we're kind of saying what the research is telling us and what the people have been telling us. And also, you can always make an agenda really vague to start with as you're recruiting speakers, but I always find, okay, once you've got the speakers, if you've got the time and you've got the resources, then edit your blurb as well to make it more accurate to what the session will actually be discussing. Also,
audience are always, I'm going to pop this away now, we are done with asking ChatGPT questions. But I think that audience always wanted to see what their concerns reflected in a programme. The only way to do that is by asking them the questions. But that doesn't mean that we can't use AI to simplify the process of finding out what that information is. So I like to use AI tools with my research calls, and later down in the process, which we can cover a little bit more in depth, is speaker briefs and panel briefings. Transcription software is fabulous, whether you're using something that's already inbuilt into Google Meet or to Teams, or I have other software that I use like Otter, and that's great because it will transcribe it in time and it will give you a bullet points over it. What I also like to do is when I do like to use ChatGPT is I put that entire transcription, like that transcript in, and I say, can you give me the bullet points on this call, but can you also give me the quote where you pulled it from?
Yeah,
that one to me is specific because I will get those bullet points and then I'll go back to that point in the transcript, especially if you've done a call for like half an hour or I've had
eventually your brain does go a little bit numb sometimes
Yeah.
during those calls, when you're doing back-to-back calls as well.
In that beginning process where maybe in that 1 week you have got like 20 research calls and you're just trying to make sure that you're asking the questions and you do absorb some of that information, especially when there's a little nugget of information, you get a bit excited going, oh, this is new. But when you're talking about a lot of the same stuff, it's good to have a way to go back to that. And I think that asking AI to help ease that process.
I completely agree. I mean, I think that's where AI comes in quite useful, is that with what maybe that task would have taken me, definitely used to be like on a Friday, I would put all the transcripts together and go over it and all of that. And it used to take me like a day or two. That now takes you maybe half a day to get it all sorted and sending out those speaker briefs. So it is efficiency at the end of the day. But it shouldn't become that all your work is basically you going on ChatGPT and putting it out there.
And I think, like we said with the gender writing, you shouldn't use it. There is a skill set that comes with aligning the brand voice, the event voice, with your program, and ChatGPT is not going to be able to reflect that as well. And I mean, when we come on to the next stages of the process and we look at speaker recruitment and speaker briefings, speaker preparation, I think that's where AI can be a really great assistant again, but it's never going to be able to do our job for us. No. It's never going to be yes, people can make the claim that, yes, it can automate all your emails and your invites and then get those responses and collect their information, all this. But there's a human touch that comes with our job, and being that person of call for speakers when they have a question and when they need support. And, you know, AI is not going to do that, even if you have a chat assistant. They go, when's the date of the event? How do I get there? All of this. Yes, you can have all these things, but having a person to reach out to and being an extension of the event and being a person that they want to speak to, I think you just can't replace that.
No, although I do have a little confession.
Go for it. What did you do?
I mean, I do use it to help me out with emails sometimes.
What's wrong with that?
Just more like what you were saying about, you do get asked a lot of questions sometimes closer to an event.
Yeah.
And especially when I've done really large scale events and we're talking about like 250 plus speakers, it gets really intense close to an event. My inbox would get full. And I would essentially have like a line on ChatGPT where I've put all the information about the event. Yeah. And at the end of the day, when I finish my day and I finish doing all the Teams meetings, and I am a little bit brain dead and I'm going through my inbox, there would be some where I was like, right, answer this. You know all the answers. And then I would double check to make sure that it's fine, but I would send it. Or at other times, I know that maybe, when sometimes you do end up in a bit of a controversial email chain.
Oh, when someone's not very happy.
Yes.
And things get a little bit passive aggressive.
Yes.
And you don't know how to respond.
Yes. And sometimes I have written a response and then gone to ChatGPT and been, can you make sure this doesn't sound as passive aggressive as I'm feeling? And yeah.
Oh no! Have you seen on TikTok? I can't remember. I think her handle is like Lou Ailey or something. Her name's Laura, and she does the series. How do you professionally say this isn't my job? And he goes, I think this is outside the scope of my remit or something. Yeah. And it's like that, isn't it? You need like a work bestie to proofread what you actually want to say.
Yes,
and make it
make it less of what I actually am saying and more of what I should be saying.
More easy to digest.
Yeah. Exactly. Toning it all down, calming things down for me.
From a boil to a simmer.
Yes, exactly. But it does help because sometimes you do find actually closer to events, right? We will all get this speaker who's quite annoying, or all of a sudden they assume something that you actually never promised them. And then this whole big drama starts happening.
Yeah.
And you're so close to the event that you're like, I do not have the time to deal with this, but it needs to be dealt with. And so sometimes, I've used it to just be like, help me calm down this situation.
What's the best response?
And
here?
what is the best response? Yeah. And it will write it in a tone that, to be honest, it has always
you know what
helped.
to say.
Yeah.
But it's what's going to be the best way that's probably going to be received in this situation.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Or just to validate, was that a passive aggressive email I just received? And I have received that. Yes, it was. And I was like, cool.
ChatGPT can be a great, therapist.
It can be everything.
HR. Like, what was it? Is this like, that's what I thought.
Legal advisor.
Oh, yeah. What was it? I mean, the other thing is like, it's similar to when we were talking about content before. It's just sometimes a bit dated.
Yeah.
That's the other thing. It's sometimes may not be word to the wise of what the latest things are.
No, and you ask for speaker recommendations. I've done that before out of curiosity, and I've been like, sure, that was maybe like, 2 years ago, they would have been relevant, or just, but those are the speakers that just constantly make the rounds. I'm trying to find the new ones. Yeah.
Have you seen any other uses of AI?
Not that I can think of, actually.
There's all like the normal assistants on like I feel like every system has an AI assistant now, and I'd love to see more. I think back when we used to use project planning software, I think I'd love to see just more better automation. I just find that the problem as well is a lot of it requires a lot of setup and maintenance to make sure that things keep flowing. I just wish that, like, do you know what the dream is? I mean, we stay with that, like, in the beginning, we do the research and, like, immediately I've got my notes taken away and it's in the right kind of voice. Like, AI has learned exactly what I'm needing. And then we take that, we write it, that sounds great. And then we start going, okay, these are the speakers that we want. And it's all in that system, and it starts sending out those emails, and we get that call in, and we can then get in, what was it? And then automatically all those speaker briefs and all of those calendar invites. Automatic AI calendar invites without needing the headspace.
Yeah, like when you send the...
amazing.
Like when you send the email... Yeah. And it actually tells you maybe at the end, like, this is the date that everyone can make.
Yeah.
Or it sends to everyone. None of you can agree on a date, because it's so awkward when we have to do it. Because you're like, it's obvious. So why are you, I find it so many times you get that whole, everyone says they can on a Thursday and then someone else comes up and they're like, only on the Monday. And you're like, well, what? Anyway.
There are ways I can see in the future that AI would make that a lot easier. And I think that there are systems and softwares out there that are working up that kind of, scheduling systems, automatic. And there are systems out there, and I know them. A lot of the issues with a lot of those systems is generally, as always, as we say, budget.
Yeah, budget.
I really hope like we do loads of these episodes and we're just constantly saying budget. And then one day there's just going to be a consensus across the industry that suddenly we all have budget. Yeah. It's going to be amazing.
Be a great day. But yeah, I think that the point I wanted to make though was, as you said, AI, hopefully there's way more tools that can help us to be efficient. But at the end of the day, that meeting that we are having with the speakers where we're convincing them to come and join this event, where we're creating that relationship with them, that is so important.
Where we're asking them those questions in the beginning, when we're on those panel briefs, like I've seen things where people say, "Oh, just email over your ideas and I'll put them in." And like, let's say they use like an AI tool to generate out a panel brief and like those are the questions. No, like when you get everyone on those calls and you just let people talk, like not like they were on stage, but okay, these are the ideas, and you start riffing, that's when you can just really, and you can, as a producer, our job is to press it further.
Yeah.
Okay, well, what else do you want to say there? Where could we take it further? Not just stick with the headline, like...
Or just guide them and say, for example, like, please no 5-minute intro from each.
That takes up a lot of time.
I'm like, before you know it, that's 25 minutes gone just from each one of you saying 5-minute points.
It's like a really nice little reference to a previous video on speaker videos and intros.
Yeah.
And how we could streamline that process.
Exactly.
But I mean, I'm going to encourage anyone that's listening to let us know any ways that they've used AI in their processes, because I think that would be really interesting to see what people are actually doing. I think we've admitted sounds like we're doing a bad thing. Yeah. No, but we've shared where we do use AI, where we have done it in the past, where it's worked, where it hasn't. To me, the highlight is transcription software.
Yeah.
When you've done I've done production processes where I've done 45 calls, or when you've got 80 sessions or even 120 sessions, those big scale events, and you've got to do all of those speaker briefs. And even if it's a solo session or a panel, you've got to send those briefs out, and those fireside chats, interviews where you need to send out all of those questions and make sure that everyone's on the same page. It's a lot of admin.
It is a lot of admin. So anything to save the admin.
Exactly.
Please do give us your tips and tricks.
But I think that's all. So thanks everybody for listening, and see you on the next one.
See you next.